Discipline is the foundation of greatness. People waste time searching for motivation, but motivation is fleeting. It's weak. It disappears when things get hard. Discipline is what gets you up in the morning when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what keeps you going when everyone else quits. If you can master discipline, you can master your destiny. Most people live their lives in cycles of highs and lows, driven by how they feel in the moment. When they feel inspired, they take action. When they don't, they make excuses. This is why so many people start things but never finish them. They wait to feel ready, and when that feeling fades, they quit. But the truth is, successful people don't rely on feelings to take action. They take action regardless of how they feel. They understand that discipline is not about doing what's easy. It's about doing what's necessary. Discipline means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means going to the gym when your body is tired. It means working on your goals when your mind tells you to rest. It means pushing forward even when no one is watching. Because discipline is not about the big moments. It's about the small, daily decisions that shape your future. Every day you make choices. You either choose to be disciplined or you choose to be average. The world belongs to those who choose discipline. One of the biggest lies people believe is that they need motivation to start. They tell themselves they'll begin working on their goals when they feel ready. But the reality is, you will never feel completely ready. Waiting for motivation is the fastest way to fail because motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates. Some days you'll have it and some days you won't. But discipline is consistent. Discipline is a habit. It's something you build, something you train, just like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Imagine two people who both want to get in shape. The first person goes to the gym when they feel motivated. They work out hard for a few days, but the moment they feel tired or discouraged, they stop. They make excuses. Weeks go by and they're still in the same place, wondering why they aren't seeing results. The second person, on the other hand, follows a strict routine. They go to the gym every day, no matter what. Whether they're tired, stressed, or busy, they still show up. Over time, they get stronger. They get faster. They transform their body and mind. The difference between these two people is not genetics, luck, or talent. It's discipline. This principle applies to every area of life. If you want to be successful in business, you have to work even when you don't feel like it. If you want to master a skill, you have to practice every day, even when it's boring. If you want to build an extraordinary life, you have to make sacrifices, even when they're uncomfortable. The most successful people in the world are not always the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. They are the most disciplined. They are the ones who do the work day in and day out without excuses. Some people think discipline is restrictive, that it takes away their freedom. But the truth is, discipline is the ultimate form of freedom. When you are disciplined, you are in control of your life. You are not a slave to your emotions, your impulses, or your circumstances. You don't let laziness, fear, or distractions dictate your future. Instead, you decide, you take ownership, you create the life you want. But discipline isn't easy, it's uncomfortable. It requires you to push past your limits. It requires you to do things that most people won't do. It means waking up early when everyone else is sleeping. It means working when others are relaxing. It means delaying gratification for long-term success. But in the end, it's worth it. Because the pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. So ask yourself, do you want to be like everyone else, starting and stopping, making excuses, living an average life? Or do you want to rise above, take control, and become unstoppable? The choice is yours. But remember this, no one who is truly successful got there by taking the easy route. They got there by choosing discipline every single day. Discipline is the foundation of greatness. People waste time searching for motivation, but motivation is fleeting. It's weak. It disappears when things get hard. Discipline is what gets you up in the morning when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what keeps you going when everyone else quits. If you can master discipline, you can master your destiny. Most people live their lives waiting for motivation to strike, believing that inspiration is what will drive them to take action. But the reality is motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates based on how you feel, and feelings are never stable. One day you feel excited, ready to conquer the world, and the next day you wake up tired, unmotivated, and unwilling to do the hard work required to succeed. This is where discipline separates winners from everyone else. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. It is the ability to push forward when your mind is telling you to stop. It is waking up early when you would rather sleep in, training when you don't feel like it, and working when your body and mind tell you to take a break. People who rely on motivation often struggle to stay consistent. They start projects with enthusiasm but give up the moment things get difficult. They go to the gym for a few weeks, then quit when they stop seeing quick results. They work on a business idea for a short time, then abandon it when challenges arise. They convince themselves that they will start again when they feel ready, but the truth is, they will never feel ready. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not talent, luck, or intelligence, it is discipline. The most successful people in the world do not rely on motivation to take action. They rely on discipline to keep moving forward, no matter what. Discipline is what builds habits, and habits shape your future. When you consistently show up, put in the work, and stay committed to your goals, you create a routine that drives success. At first, discipline may feel difficult. Waking up early, exercising daily, studying, working hard, and avoiding distractions require effort. But over time, these actions become second nature. The more disciplined you are, the easier it becomes to maintain your habits, and eventually success follows. People often look at high achievers and assume they are naturally gifted or lucky. They fail to realize that behind every champion, entrepreneur, or leader is a person who has spent years developing an unbreakable level of discipline. Success is not about making big, dramatic moves. It is about doing the small, necessary things every single day, even when you don't want to. The greatest athletes train even when they are sore. The most successful business owners work long hours, even when they feel exhausted. The strongest minds push through discomfort, knowing that their future depends on their actions today. Every day you make a choice. You either choose to be disciplined and work towards your goals, or you choose to take the easy route and stay where you are. The problem with taking the easy route is that it leads to regret. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. Some people believe that discipline is restrictive, that it takes away freedom and makes life difficult. But the truth is, discipline is the key to ultimate freedom. When you are disciplined, you control your future. You are not a slave to bad habits, procrastination, or distractions. You do not let laziness dictate your life. You do not allow temporary discomfort to stop you from reaching your goals. Instead, you make the decisions that put you in a position of power. A person without discipline is at the mercy of their emotions, constantly pulled in different directions by impulses and short-term desires. But a disciplined person has control. They do not need motivation to act because they have trained themselves to do what is necessary, regardless of how they feel. Discipline is also the key to mental strength. In a world where most people give up at the first sign of difficulty, those who are disciplined stand out. They do not complain when things get hard. They do not quit when obstacles appear. Instead, they find a way forward. They understand that setbacks are temporary and that the only way to truly fail is to stop trying. The mind is like a muscle. The more you push it, the stronger it becomes. The more disciplined you are, the more resilient you become. Challenges that once seemed impossible start to feel manageable. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become routine. Over time, discipline transforms not just your actions, but your entire mindset. Developing discipline is not easy, but it is simple. It starts with making small commitments and keeping them. Wake up at the time you said you would. Go to the gym even when you don't feel like it. Work on your goals every single day, no matter how small the progress. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop relying on motivation. Start relying on yourself. The more you do this, the stronger your discipline becomes, and the closer you get to becoming the person you were meant to be. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. You can either live a life controlled by your emotions, constantly starting and stopping, always wondering what could have been, or you can take control, build discipline, and create a future that others only dream about. The world belongs to those who are disciplined enough to take it. Discipline means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means going to the gym when your body is tired. It means working on your goals when your mind tells you to rest. It means pushing forward even when no one is watching. Because discipline is not about the big moments. It's about the small, daily decisions that shape your future. Every day you make choices. You either choose to be disciplined or you choose to be average. The world belongs to those who choose discipline. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for mediocrity is not luck, talent, or intelligence. It is discipline. Discipline is what forces you to get out of bed when you don't feel like it. It is what pushes you to train even when your body is sore. It is what drives you to work when everyone else is relaxing. The people who win in life are not the ones who wait for motivation to strike. They're the ones who understand that success is built through relentless, consistent effort. Most people fail because they allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They say they want success, but the moment things become uncomfortable, they stop. They make excuses. They justify their lack of effort by blaming external factors. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, next week, or next month. But tomorrow never comes. They remain stuck in the same place because they have not developed the discipline to push through discomfort. The truth is, nothing worthwhile in life comes easy. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you must be willing to do what most people won't. You must be willing to endure pain, frustration, and sacrifice. You must be willing to commit to the process, no matter how difficult it becomes. Discipline is about consistency. It is about showing up every single day and putting in the work, regardless of whether you feel like it. It is easy to be motivated for a day, a week, or even a month. But discipline is what keeps you going for years. It is what separates the person who talks about their dreams from the person who actually achieves them. If you only take action when you feel motivated, you will never succeed. You will always find an excuse to stop. But if you are disciplined, nothing can stop you. You will do what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when it's painful, even when no one else believes in you. Most people are addicted to comfort. They avoid anything that feels difficult or unpleasant. They want results, but they do not want the struggle that comes with them. They admire successful people, but refuse to adopt the same level of discipline that made those people successful. They look for shortcuts, hacks, and easy ways out, but there are no shortcuts to greatness. The only way to achieve real success is through hard work and relentless discipline. The moment you accept this truth, your life changes. You stop looking for the easy way, and you start embracing the hard way. You stop running from challenges and start seeking them out. You stop avoiding discomfort and start using it as fuel to grow. Discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed. You do not have to be born with it. You do not have to be naturally gifted. You simply have to practice it every single day. Start with small commitments and follow through. Wake up when you say you will. Go to the gym even when you don't feel like it. Work on your goals even when you're tired. Every time you push through discomfort, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build self-respect. And the more disciplined you become, the more control you gain over your life. A lack of discipline leads to regret. The person who skips workouts because they are tired will eventually regret their lack of progress. The person who procrastinates on their goals will eventually regret the opportunities they missed. The person who chooses comfort over effort will eventually regret the life they never built. Regret is far more painful than discipline. Discipline requires short-term sacrifice, but regret lasts a lifetime. When you choose discipline, you choose freedom. Freedom from regret, freedom from mediocrity, freedom from a life of unfulfilled potential. The world does not reward those who wait for the perfect moment. It rewards those who take action, even when they don't feel like it. It rewards those who have the discipline to work when others rest, to push forward when others quit, to keep going when everything inside them says to stop. Discipline is not just about working hard. It is about committing to a standard of excellence. It is about demanding more from yourself every single day. It is about refusing to settle for anything less than what you are truly capable of achieving. Most people want an easy life. They want success without effort. They want results without discipline. But that is not how the world works. The harsh truth is that you will either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The choice is yours. But if you truly want to take control of your life, if you truly want to achieve greatness, you must develop an unbreakable level of discipline. You must train yourself to take action, regardless of how you feel. You must push yourself to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard. Because in the end, discipline is what will separate you from the rest of the world. It is what will turn your dreams into reality. Discipline means pushing forward even when no one is watching. It is easy to stay committed when people are holding you accountable, when there is an audience cheering you on, or when you receive instant rewards for your efforts. But true discipline is what you do when no one is around. It is the ability to stay focused on your goals even when there is no external pressure. It is waking up early when there is no one to force you. It is sticking to your routine when no one would notice if you skipped it. It is making sacrifices that no one sees, knowing that those small, unseen actions will build the foundation for success. Most people only take action when there is an immediate consequence or when someone else is watching. They work hard at their jobs because their boss is monitoring them, but they neglect their personal goals because there is no one there to enforce them. They stick to their diet when others are around, but indulge in unhealthy habits in private. They promise themselves they will put in extra effort, but when no one is looking, they relax, procrastinate, and take shortcuts. This is why so many people fail to achieve their full potential. They rely on external motivation rather than developing the internal discipline to stay consistent no matter the circumstances. True discipline is built in solitude. It is developed in the quiet moments when no one is applauding your effort. It is forged in the times when the work is boring, repetitive, and exhausting, yet you choose to do it anyway. Champions are made when no one is watching. The athlete who trains relentlessly, even when there is no competition in sight, becomes the one who dominates when the time comes. The entrepreneur who grinds in silence, working on their business while others are distracted, becomes the one who reaps the rewards in the future. The student who studies diligently when no one is forcing them to will be the one who excels when it matters. Discipline is not about impressing others. It is about staying true to your commitments, even when there is no immediate gratification. The problem with most people is that they expect instant results. They want to see progress immediately, and when they don't, they become discouraged. This is why they struggle to remain disciplined. They go to the gym for a week and quit because they don't see a drastic change. They work on a project for a short time and give up because success is not instant. But discipline is about consistency, not speed. It is about showing up every day and putting in the work, regardless of how long it takes. The most successful people understand that results come from relentless effort over time. They trust the process even when there are no visible rewards. They do not need validation from others to stay committed. They keep going because they have trained themselves to do so. Discipline also means making the right choices even when they are not the easiest or most enjoyable. It is saying no to distractions when others are indulging in them. It is choosing work over entertainment, growth over comfort, and long-term rewards over instant gratification. This is what separates those who succeed from those who fail. The disciplined person understands that every action they take is either moving them closer to their goals or further away. They recognize that the small decisions they make daily compound over time, leading to either massive success or deep regret. There will be days when you don't feel like doing what you need to do. You will wake up tired, unmotivated, and tempted to take the easy route. Your mind will come up with endless excuses, telling you that one missed workout, one skipped study session, or one lazy day won't make a difference. But it does. Every time you let your emotions dictate your actions, you weaken your discipline. Every time you push through resistance and do the work anyway, you strengthen it. The strongest minds are not those who never feel like quitting. They are the ones who feel like quitting but refuse to do so. Some people believe discipline is restrictive, that it takes away their freedom. But in reality, discipline is what gives you true freedom. Without it, you are controlled by impulses, laziness, and distractions. Without it, you live a life dictated by circumstances rather than by choice. The person who lacks discipline is a slave to their emotions, constantly at the mercy of their mood. They procrastinate, fall behind, and then wonder why they never achieve their goals. But the disciplined person, they control their life. They dictate their own success. They create opportunities instead of waiting for them. In the end, it all comes down to one decision. Will you take control of your life, or will you let life control you? Discipline is the key to everything you want. It is the difference between an extraordinary life and a life filled with regret. It is the one trait that guarantees progress, regardless of circumstances. If you can master discipline, you can achieve anything. If you lack it, you will always fall short. So choose discipline. Choose to do the work even when no one is watching. Choose to stay committed even when the results are not immediate. Choose to push forward even when your mind tells you to stop. Because at the end of the day, discipline is what will set you apart from the rest. Success is not about what you do occasionally. It is about what you do consistently. It is easy to put in effort when you feel motivated, but true success is built by those who show up every single day, regardless of how they feel. Most people make the mistake of thinking that success is determined by one big moment, one lucky break, or one extraordinary effort. But in reality, success is the result of small, disciplined actions repeated over time. Every choice you make, no matter how small, is either moving you closer to your goals or pushing you further away. It is not about intensity. It is about consistency. Most people start strong but fail to follow through. They get excited about a new goal, whether it's losing weight, building a business, or learning a skill, and they put in effort for a short period. But the moment they stop seeing immediate results or the excitement fades, they lose motivation and give up. They convince themselves that they will try again later when they feel ready. But the truth is, they will never feel ready because motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind, and if you rely on it, you will never achieve anything worthwhile. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is simple. Successful people are consistent. They show up even when they don't feel like it. They put in the work even when they are tired, uninspired, or frustrated. They understand that consistency is more powerful than motivation. Building consistency starts with discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. It is training yourself to follow through on your commitments no matter what. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who feel motivated all the time. They are the ones who've trained themselves to act regardless of how they feel. They do not let their emotions dictate their actions. They understand that success is a long-term game, and the only way to win is to be consistent. They know that one great day of effort means nothing if it is not followed by more great days. The problem with most people is that they expect instant results. They want to see progress immediately, and when they don't, they become discouraged. This is why they struggle to remain consistent. They go to the gym for a week and quit because they don't see dramatic changes. They start a new habit but abandon it when it feels difficult. But success does not work that way. It is a slow process, and the only way to see real results is to stay consistent over time. The person who works out every day for a year will always be in better shape than the person who trains intensely for a week and then stops. The person who works on their craft daily will always surpass the person who only puts in effort when they feel like it. Consistency beats intensity every single time. To become consistent, you must stop waiting to feel like it. You must stop looking for the perfect moment and start taking action now. The greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and artists did not wait for inspiration to strike. They created a routine and stuck to it no matter what. They showed up when they were tired, frustrated, and unmotivated. They understood that the secret to success is not in bursts of effort, but in steady, disciplined work over time. Every small step matters. Every repetition counts. Every single day that you choose discipline over excuses brings you closer to your goals. Another mistake people make is thinking that missing one day does not matter. They tell themselves that skipping a workout, missing a study session, or taking a break from their goals just this once is harmless. But what they fail to realize is that one missed day turns into two, then three, then a habit of inconsistency. Success is about momentum. When you are consistent, you build momentum that carries you forward. But when you break that consistency, you lose progress and make it harder to start again. This is why the most successful people are relentless. They do not allow themselves to break their streak. They make their habits a non-negotiable part of their lives. People often say they do not have time to be consistent, but the truth is they do not prioritize it. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is how they use that time. The person who is serious about their goals will find time to work on them every single day. Even if it is only for a few minutes, they will make sacrifices, eliminate distractions, and stay committed. The person who is not serious will make excuses. They will say they are too busy, too tired, or too overwhelmed. But in the end, the results always reflect the level of consistency. The greatest rewards in life come to those who are willing to be consistent long enough to see results. It may take months, even years, but those who stay the course always win. The bodybuilder who shows up to the gym every day for years builds a physique that others admire. The entrepreneur who works on their business every single day creates success that others envy. The artist who practices their craft daily becomes a master of their skill. It is not about talent, luck, or intelligence. It is about showing up day after day without fail. At the end of the day, success is a choice. You can choose to be consistent or inconsistent. You can choose to work on your goals every day or only when it is convenient. You can choose to push forward or to give up when things get hard. But understand this, every successful person you admire, every champion, every leader, every master of their craft got to where they are because they made the decision to be consistent. They committed to the process, even when it was difficult. They did not rely on motivation. They relied on discipline. And because of that, they achieved what most people never will. The choice is yours. Will you be the person who stays consistent and reaches your full potential? Or will you be like everyone else, starting strong then quitting when the excitement fades? If you truly want to succeed, if you truly want to take control of your life, then stop waiting, stop making excuses, and start being consistent. Because in the end, the only way to win is to show up every single day. Your mindset controls everything. The way you think, the way you interpret challenges, and the way you react to setbacks all determine the direction of your life. Most people allow their mindset to be shaped by circumstances rather than taking control of their thoughts. They believe success is reserved for a lucky few, that opportunities are limited, and that life happens to them rather than because of them. This is why they remain stuck. They do not understand that everything begins in the mind. If you believe you are capable, you will act accordingly. If you believe you are doomed to fail, you will prove yourself, right? The most successful people in the world are not the ones who had the easiest path or the most advantages. They are the ones who refuse to let their circumstances define them. They train their minds to see opportunities where others saw obstacles. They refused to entertain self-doubt, negativity, or limiting beliefs. They understood that the mind can either be a prison or a powerful weapon, and they chose to make it work for them instead of against them. They conditioned themselves to think differently, to expect success, and to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Most people, however, let fear and doubt dictate their lives. They think about everything that could go wrong instead of focusing on what could go right. They talk themselves out of taking action because they convince themselves they are not ready, not talented enough, or not lucky enough. They allow failure to define them instead of using it as a lesson. They give up at the first sign of difficulty, not realizing that every setback is a test to see how badly they want success. They do not fail because they lack potential. They fail because they never trained their minds to be strong. Changing your mindset is not easy. It requires conscious effort every single day. You must become aware of the thoughts that enter your mind and challenge the ones that do not serve you. You must replace self-doubt with self-belief, negativity with optimism, and excuses with action. You must train yourself to see setbacks as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who never let failure stop them. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is adopting a mindset of ownership. Most people blame external factors for their problems. They blame their circumstances, their upbringing, their lack of resources, or other people for why they are not where they want to be. But those who succeed understand that no one is coming to save them. They take full responsibility for their actions, their failures, and their results. They do not waste time complaining about what they cannot control. They focus on what they can control. And what they can control is their effort, their discipline, and their mindset. Your mind is like a muscle. If you do not train it, it will remain weak. If you constantly feed it negativity, self-doubt, and fear, it will work against you. But if you train it with positive reinforcement, discipline, and a relentless belief in yourself, it will become your greatest asset. Every time you push through self-doubt, you strengthen your mind. Every time you choose to see an obstacle as an opportunity rather than a limitation, you make your mindset more resilient. And over time, this mental strength compounds, giving you the ability to take on challenges that would have once seemed impossible. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. If you think like a victim, you will live like a victim. If you think like a winner, you will act like one. This is why mindset is everything. It is the foundation of success, the deciding factor between those who reach their goals and those who do not. Two people can face the exact same situation, but the one with the right mindset will turn it into an opportunity, while the other sees it as an excuse to quit. The difference is not in their circumstances. It is in how they choose to think. You must train yourself to expect more from life. If you think small, you will achieve small results. If you think big, you will push yourself to reach new levels. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not the ones who settle for mediocrity. They are the ones who believe they are capable of more. And because of that belief, they take the necessary actions to make it a reality. Your mind will always look for evidence to support your beliefs. If you believe you are destined for greatness, your mind will find ways to make it happen. If you believe you are stuck and powerless, your mind will create excuses to keep you in the same place. The world does not owe you success. No one is going to hand it to you. But if you train your mind to see opportunities, to expect success, and to refuse to accept anything less than what you are capable of, you will become unstoppable. The strongest people are not those who never face challenges. They are the ones who develop the mental toughness to push through them. They are the ones who have conditioned their minds to keep going when others quit, to see failure as a stepping stone rather than a dead end, and to believe in themselves even when no one else does. Mindset is the foundation of everything. If you fix your mind, everything else falls into place. Your habits change, your discipline improves, your actions align with your goals, and your results begin to reflect your new way of thinking. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your mindset. Change it, strengthen it, and refuse to let anything weaken it. Once you master your mind, you master your life. The only way to achieve anything significant in life is by embracing discomfort. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding pain, struggle, and difficult situations because they believe that comfort equals happiness. But the truth is, comfort is the enemy of progress. The more you seek to make your life easy, the less you grow. The less you grow, the further you are from becoming the person you are meant to be. Nothing great has ever been accomplished by someone who refused to step outside of what was familiar and comfortable. If you want to achieve real success, you must be willing to put yourself in situations that challenge you, that test you, and that force you to become stronger. Most people look at discomfort as something to be avoided at all costs. They want the rewards of success without the struggle that comes with it. They want the body without the hard workouts. They want the wealth without the years of sacrifice. They want the skills without the hours of practice. But this is not how life works. The people who reach the top are the ones who embrace discomfort. They wake up early when their body tells them to sleep in. They push through exhaustion when their mind tells them to quit. They step into difficult situations, knowing that on the other side of that struggle lies growth. Discomfort is a signal that you are growing. The moment you start feeling uneasy, the moment things get difficult, that is when you know you are on the right path. But most people run in the opposite direction when things get hard. They start something new, and as soon as they face resistance, they give up. They tell themselves it is too difficult, that they are not good enough, that they should try something easier. This is why they never achieve anything great. They never push themselves long enough to break past their limitations. They never experience what they are truly capable of because they allow discomfort to scare them away. If you look at the most successful people in any field, you will see that they have one thing in common. They are comfortable being uncomfortable. They have trained themselves to endure pain, to embrace struggle, and to push through when things get tough. The best athletes are the ones who can train the hardest, even when their body is screaming for them to stop. The best entrepreneurs are the ones who can take failure after failure and keep going. The best leaders are the ones who can make difficult decisions, knowing that the easy route is never the right one. What separates winners from everyone else is not talent or luck. It is their ability to embrace discomfort and keep moving forward. You must rewire your brain to see discomfort as a good thing. Most people feel discomfort and assume something is wrong. They think if something is difficult, it means they should stop. But in reality, discomfort is the only way to grow. If you want to build muscle, you have to push your body past its limits. If you want to develop mental toughness, you have to put yourself in situations that test your resilience. If you want to achieve success, you have to take risks, step into the unknown, and do things that scare you. Discomfort is not the enemy. It is the path to everything you want in life. The reason most people fail is that they look for shortcuts. They want to find an easy way to success, a path that does not require sacrifice, discipline, or discomfort. But shortcuts never lead to real success. Anything worth having requires hard work, patience, and endurance. You must be willing to put in the hours, to suffer through the setbacks, to endure the frustration of slow progress. You must be willing to go through pain, knowing that pain is temporary but growth is permanent. Every moment of discomfort you experience is making you stronger. Every time you push through resistance, you are leveling up. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to become better than you were before. The greatest mistake you can make is believing that life should be easy. If you spend your life avoiding pain, you will also avoid success. If you only do what is comfortable, you will never reach your full potential. The truth is, discomfort is inevitable. You will experience pain in life no matter what. But you have a choice. You can either experience the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One will make you stronger. The other will leave you wondering what could have been. Discomfort is not something to fear. It is something to seek out. If you wake up every day and do the same comfortable things, you will stay the same. If you never challenge yourself, you will never grow. But if you make it a habit to step outside your comfort zone, to do things that scare you, to push yourself harder than before, you will become unstoppable. The people who change the world are not the ones who avoid discomfort. They are the ones who chase it, knowing that struggle is the price of greatness. You must train yourself to embrace discomfort in all areas of life. If you want to be physically strong, push yourself beyond your limits in the gym. If you want to be mentally strong, put yourself in situations that test your patience, endurance, and resilience. If you want to be successful, take on challenges that force you to grow. When things get hard, instead of backing down, lean into the struggle. When you feel like quitting, remind yourself that this is the moment when growth happens. When you are tired, frustrated, and ready to give up, keep going. Everything you want in life is on the other side of discomfort. The body you want, the career you want, the mindset you want, the life you dream of, it is all waiting for you. But you will never reach it if you are not willing to suffer for it. You will never reach it if you are not willing to endure the discomfort that comes with growth. Stop looking for the easy path because there isn't one. Stop waiting for things to get easier because they won't. Instead, make yourself stronger. Build the discipline to push through the pain. Develop the mindset to embrace discomfort as a necessary part of success. At the end of your life, you will either look back with pride, knowing you gave everything you had, or you will look back with regret, knowing you played it safe. The choice is yours. But if you want to achieve greatness, if you want to take control of your life, if you want to reach your full potential, there is only one option: embrace discomfort, push through the struggle, and never stop growing. The people you surround yourself with will determine the quality of your life. Your environment shapes you more than you realize, and the people closest to you influence your mindset, habits, and level of ambition. If you surround yourself with weak, lazy, and negative individuals, you will inevitably adopt their way of thinking. If you spend your time around people who complain, make excuses, and accept mediocrity, you will start to see those behaviors as normal. Without realizing it, you will begin to lower your standards to fit in with those around you. The human mind is incredibly adaptable, and if you constantly expose yourself to low value influences, you will start to embody them. Most people never achieve their full potential because they allow the wrong people to drain their energy, distract them from their goals, and pull them down to their level. They stay in friendships and relationships that do not serve them, believing that loyalty is more important than progress. But the harsh truth is that not everyone deserves a place in your life. If someone is not pushing you to be better, they are holding you back. If they are not inspiring you to achieve more, they are keeping you stuck. The strongest and most successful people understand this, which is why they are ruthless about who they allow into their inner circle. They do not tolerate negativity, laziness, or weakness. They surround themselves with winners, people who are disciplined, ambitious, and constantly striving for more. If you want to change your life, the first thing you must do is audit your circle. Take a hard look at the people you spend the most time with and ask yourself if they are helping you become the best version of yourself, or if they are keeping you comfortable in mediocrity. Are they pushing you toward greatness? Or are they distracting you with meaningless activities? Do they challenge your thinking, or do they encourage complacency? The answers to these questions will tell you everything you need to know about whether your environment is helping you grow or keeping you stagnant. Many people hold on to toxic relationships out of fear of being alone. They would rather have negative influences in their lives than face the discomfort of walking their path alone. But this fear is an illusion. The truth is, it is better to be alone than to be surrounded by people who are dragging you down. Growth is often a lonely journey because not everyone is willing to do what it takes to succeed. If you decide to raise your standards, you will naturally outgrow people who are comfortable where they are. This is a necessary part of the process. You must be willing to let go of anyone who is not aligned with your vision. Once you remove negative influences from your life, the next step is to actively seek out high-value individuals. Surround yourself with people who are more successful than you, people who have the mindset, discipline, and work ethic that you aspire to have. Being in the presence of winners forces you to level up. When you are around people who think bigger, take massive action, and refuse to accept excuses, you will naturally start to adopt those same qualities. Success is contagious, just like failure is. The more time you spend around people who are committed to excellence, the more you will be inspired to push yourself to greater heights. Your circle should challenge you. If you are always the smartest, most disciplined, or most ambitious person in your group, you are in the wrong group. Growth happens when you are forced to rise to a higher standard. Seek out people who make you feel uncomfortable because they operate at a higher level than you. Learn from them. Observe their habits, their mindset, and their way of thinking. Let their success fuel your own ambition. The best way to elevate your life is to put yourself in environments where you are constantly reminded that you have more work to do. It is not just about the people you physically surround yourself with. In today's world, your influences also come from what you consume, what you watch, what you listen to, and what you read. If you spend hours consuming negative news, mindless entertainment, and content that does not push you forward, you are poisoning your mind with distractions. But if you surround yourself with books, podcasts, and videos that teach you discipline, success, and mental toughness, you are programming your mind for greatness. Even if you do not have access to successful people in real life, you can still learn from the best by consuming their knowledge. The internet has given everyone access to mentors, but most people waste it on entertainment instead of education. The truth is, the people who complain about their circumstances are often the same ones who refuse to change their environment. They refuse to cut off negative influences, they refuse to seek out better mentors, and they refuse to put themselves in challenging situations that force them to grow. But you cannot expect to evolve while staying in the same environment that created your current limitations. Change begins with who you choose to surround yourself with. If you want a better life, you must surround yourself with better people. Do not let loyalty keep you stuck in relationships that are holding you back. Do not let fear keep you surrounded by people who do not inspire you. Do not let comfort keep you in an environment that does not challenge you. Be intentional about who you allow into your life. Seek out people who make you better. Cut off anyone who is holding you back. Your future depends on it.